Today, we are going to be building out a full application with Cursor 2.0. I'll take you through all the new changes. We'll build the app out. We'll have a ton of fun with it. You'll be able to ask me questions as we go along. I'll answer the questions. We'll build cool stuff out, and you'll learn all about Cursor 2.0. And we'll have a ton of fun while we do it, right? We'll have some laughs, we'll have some cries, and we'll build cool apps together. The purpose of this stream is not only to educate you, not only to entertain you, but to push you to build as well. So feel free to open up Cursor, feel free to open up Claude Code, whatever you're using, build alongside with me while we do this. But while we're here, let's pull open Cursor 2.0. Let's see what we're working with. Let's see what we're working with. I'm going to open up a brand new Cursor 2.0 window. And I am going to share my screen so you can see what it looks like. It is great to have everyone in here. Big day. It is always a big, exciting day when one of the frontier companies releases something new. And this is a new one. This is a new one. We have Cursor 2.0. This is it's big enough of a release for them to go, oh, 2.0. That's big. So we're going to test this out. We're going to build some cool apps. We're going to continue building our app from last time. For those who don't remember our app from last time, we are working on a vibe coding app store. So an app store for vibe coded apps. Everyone here will be able to submit their apps and get people to use it completely for free. We're going to keep building this out. Let me pull it open in Cursor 2.0. And then let's pull it back open here so you guys can see it. All right, here we go. What are you guys thinking about the new layout, by the way? The green light, the blue light in the background? Testing things out, seeing how it goes. All right, let's see here. Where should we go in here? Let's do here. Let's go like this. All right. Here we go. Let's do it. We're going to build out our vibe coded app store. Let's just to show you guys what we're working with. npm run dev. Let's run this. We got a CD in here. Let's do this. Actually, let's pull it open over here. 1 second. We're pulling open Cursor 2.0, and then I'm going to go into all the differences. Then we're going to start building out the app itself. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. All right. So this is what we're working with here. Let me pull open the Vibe App Store. Then we're going to start building it in Cursor 2.0. Here we go. So we have an entire app store where people could submit their Vibe coded apps in here. You can click on them, see more information about the Vibe coded app. So this is a solution for you guys where you're building your own apps out. You don't know how to get discoverability. You don't know how to get users. You can submit it here. People can upvote it, and you can get way more visibility on your solo built Vibe coded app. So we're going to keep building this out. We're going to add a bunch of new features to this. Let's go into Cursor 2.0, and let's start building it out, huh? Let's have some fun here. So I'm going to close this, go back into Cursor 2.0, Vibe App Store, share. So we got some new things with Cursor 2.0. We got this new agents view. This is the big difference. This is the big difference right here, is now instead of looking at code, you just look at agents. Right? Instead of writing code, looking at code, you can't even see the code. You can't even see the files. You are working with agents. You're managing agents. You're spinning up a bunch of agents. I like this. By the way, as a side note, full review coming shortly after this live stream ends. I just recorded the full review. So you're going to see if I recommend switching from Claude Code, if I recommend switching from Codex. So make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications for that. That's coming right after this live stream. But we're going to build some cool apps with Cursor 2.0 today. So you can't even see files and code anymore, right? All you see are agents. So let's do this. I want to make sure. We're also going to use Composer 1. So here's a new big difference with Cursor 2.0 they just put out. They have their own new model. Cursor built their own model. So instead of being dependent on Anthropic and OpenAI for their models, for Codex, for Sonnet, they built their own model, Composer 1. So we're going to see how this goes. The benchmarks are looking like it might be something cool. Looks like for their benchmarks, which For the record, benchmarks completely made up. Never trust benchmarks. Every company fudges them. Every company makes them up. Benchmarks when it comes to AI means absolutely nothing anymore. Absolutely nothing. The companies are tuning all the models to match the benchmarks. Benchmarks mean nothing. But anyway, I'm going to talk about them anyway. Benchmarks perspective, Composer 1, they say is the fastest. They say it's up there with the frontier models. We'll see what that means. That's also covered in the review video coming out shortly. But we're going to use Composer 1, right? You can also use Opus, Sonnet, Grok 4, Haiku, GPT-5 codecs. They're all in there, but we're going to use Composer 1 to build this out. I have a list of features I want to add into our App Store. I am going to add, let's do this. So here's what we're going to test with Cursor 2.0. The whole point of Cursor 2.0, the whole workflow they want to get you in is spinning up a bunch of agents and having them do work for you simultaneously. So you're just managing a bunch of agents. So I'm going to spin up like 3 or 4 agents, have them all work on a bunch of features at once, and see how they do in here. So let's do this. Let's, first of all, see what's up with the chat. If you're watching the live stream, pop into the chat, say hello. If you're watching the replay, pop into the replies and say hello. I'll read them all anyway. I love being able to flip easily from agent view to editor and back. Yes, that is the nicest part of this so far. What's up, Llama Mama? Good to see you. Vibe streaming is going to be a wonderful trend. And hey, if you're watching this, you're part of the trend. We're building this vibe streaming out together. Maybe the Vibester can have API screener for apps that are uploaded, such as a system or agent that protects someone from making their APIs public. That's actually something I've been working on. I haven't checked. Can you put file tree on the right? I can't get without seeing which file I'm talking to the agent about. Yes, you can do that. You just click this button right here and you get your file tree on the right. All right, let's do this. So I want to add, we're going to spin up a bunch of agents to build out a bunch of features in our app. Add the ability to have a link to the GitHub for the app on every app listing. So I just showed you the App Store a second ago that we're building out. There's listings for every vibe-coded app. I want to have a big GitHub link at the top. It should be a big GitHub logo at the top. We're going to hit send on that. So we have our first agent working. Now let's go spin up a second agent. I want a comment section where people can add comments on every single App Store listing. Each comment should be able to be voted up or down. I'm going to hit send that. So we're putting comment sections in each App Store listing inside our App Store. Now let's spin up another agent. I want to add a submit question to the maker section on every App Store listing. We're going to hit send on that. I'm hearing nice dings in the background of the agents finishing work. So we are having a bunch of agents go to work. Will it have back-end hosting? So I'm going to build out on this stream a back-end for our app. So we'll use Supabase to build out a back-end for our app. Resuming the VibeCode app platform for Monday? Yes, Joe Bob. Yes, we are. We are working on the same exact Vibe app store we were working on for Monday. If you're brand new to the live stream, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're just working on building this app out together. We're all working on this app together. Everyone's giving me ideas. I'm building them out. So make sure to join the live streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday so you can track the progress of this app we're building out. Everyone who watches get access to it for free. That's the Composer 1 he's using. Yeah, so let me take a sip of water here. I just filmed an entire YouTube video before this. Here's Cursor's going. Ooh, what did I just hit down here? Cursor is going with the OpenAI naming conventions here, which are use the same name for everything to make it as confusing as humanly possible. OpenAI is just names everything Codex. Their model is Codex. Their app is Codex. Their mobile app is Codex. Their cloud agent is Codex. Everything is named Codex. And Cursor is going with the exact same naming convention. Their feature is Composer. Their model is named Composer. Everything will now just be named Composer. I don't know why these companies do it. I don't know if they're just trying to build branding by naming everything the same thing. I don't know what the deal is, but that is what they do. What's up, Avo? Good to see you. Also, sign up for the newsletter down below, link in description. Also, everyone, leave a like. Let's get more people in the party. Everyone hit the like button down below right now as we build this out. So all 3 agents we spun up concluded their work within a minute. That was rather fast. That was rather fast. So they also have this new feature in here for an integrated browser. So let's do this. Let's go to localhost. I think are we on 3003 here? We are. The issue is there are some errors, and we're going to see those errors in a second. So they created some errors in our App Store. So let's do this. Let's copy. Ooh, they don't, in their browser, they do not make it easy to copy and paste things. Interesting. Oh, actually, no. I can't do it in Google Chrome either. So there's something wrong with their code where it is constantly refreshing and getting what's going on here? I think it's just straight up crap. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Getting errors in the application. Man, they're not. So the agent is not working. The agent wrote some broken code. I wish I could. I guess I could test it. Here we go. All right. Let's give them the errors. Let's hit send. Let's see if it works on this. So first stop, the agent writing some broken code. Let's see what we got here. Checking for syntax issues. Here's another thing. The agent is spectacularly fast. The agent is spectacularly fast. The new model they built is spectacularly fast. It is the fastest AI model I've ever used for coding, bar none. The issue is that it's almost too fast, to be quite honest with you. It is almost too fast. All right, let's test it. Let's see if it fixed the issue. All right, cool. Now it looks like it fixed the issue. Let's pull open the browser again. Browser tab. All right, boom, there it is. Can I make this a little bit bigger? How's it look on the stream? Yeah, it looks good. Okay. So another new feature from Cursor 2.0. They now have an in-app browser. So you can test your app side by side with the agents. I do like that. Is it the biggest leap? No, but I like that. I mean, I use an ultra wide monitor, so I have like 10 windows open at the same time anyway. But that is cool. I like the idea that it has the in-app browser. Select out. You can do screenshots. So there's errors. You can screenshot directly from here, which is cool. But let's see this. So we had to add 3 new features. We had to add a comment section in the App Store listing. We had to add a GitHub link for each App Store, and we had to add the submit to maker question. So let's open it up. Let's see if it added all 3 new features. Boom, GitHub link added. That worked well. Maker, ask questions for David. Let's see what happens when I click. Oh, boom, you can submit questions. Added that. Comment section. Boom, comments. Alex, this is awesome. All right, they don't have do they have a submit? They don't have a submit comment, but that's fine. It added the feature there. So boom, the 3 agents did it. The 3 agents did that. That is pretty cool. The 3 agents worked. We spun up 3 agents. It built it in under a minute, all 3 features, and they all work and are good to go. That is pretty cool. So I'm not going to spoil the video I'm putting out right after this live stream, but I will say this. I tested the speed and accuracy thoroughly. This is the fastest coding model I've ever used. This is the fastest coding model I've ever used. I'm actually wildly impressed with the speed of this coding model. As for the quality of the code, you'll see here on this live stream and in my full review video, which will come out shortly thereafter. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I am impressed. I mean, you just saw it here. It built out. I mean, there are 3 small features, but they built it out rather quick. The UI, I do like this UI. I do like this agent manager UI. I feel like I got to sneeze. I feel like I got to sneeze, but it's not going to come. I do think this is the future of a lot of these vibe coding platforms like Claude Code, Codex. Codex has already kind of went in this direction, but I do think they're going to have to start building out really good user experiences on top of the harness, right? I don't think the CLI is the end all be all of AI coding. I think just like Cursor 2.0, like you see here, you're going to need to start to see really nice UIs like this, where you can manage all your agents very easily, track all their statuses very easily. I wouldn't be surprised if they start building out like project management features on top of this. I think that would be really sick. But I think this is the start of like really nice UIs for agent builders. I do believe that. I do think Cursor is a step ahead in that perspective. I do think there are some ways Claude Code and Codex are still better. I go over that in the review video coming out right after this, so turn on notifications for that. But I am impressed with what this is doing so far. We're going to start building out some more advanced functionality here in a second. It's cool. You didn't see the post comment there. No, so there's no post comment button. So let's go into our agent that was working on that comment section. Here we go. It doesn't look like there is a way to submit comments or view other comments. We're going to hit, I wonder what the pricing is on this new model. It's got to be cheaper. They have to be subsidizing this new model, right? For them to build their own AI model. They have to be making it cheaper than like Anthropic and all that. Let's see. Did they update their pricing for Cursor 2.0? Let's see. Pricing. Oh, now they recommend the $60. Man, these AI companies, man, they always put out V1s. Always are dirt cheap. They always make it dirt cheap. You get a nice free plan. $20 a month gets you everything. Couple months later, oh, we cut down usage a little bit. Couple months after that, oh, now we have a $200 a month plan. Couple months after that, oh, now we recommend switching from $20 to $60. It's the way these companies work, man. That's the horrible part about the subscription model. Like, I got an email this morning from X. Your yearly subscription is going up from $220 a year to $550 a year. I got that email. What a rug pull, man. What a rug pull, huh? That's what they do. They get you subscribing for cheap. And a year later, 2 months later, 3 months later, oh, pricing going up. Whatever. It's just the nature of the business, I guess. It's nature of AI. I think it always said Pro Plus was recommended. All right, so what are we getting here? Anything about the specific agents? 1 week trial, limited agent request, limited tab completions, extended limit on agent, unlimited tab completions, background agents. So it doesn't mean 3 times usage on OpenAI, Claude, and Gemini. So it doesn't really describe the pricing differences of the Anthropic and OpenAI models versus their own models. Let's see what happens when I click on it. It just tries to have me log in. That's another kind of annoying part about all these AI companies at the moment is they don't make it too explicitly clear what the limits are, what each prompt does when it comes to limits. So it's kind of abstract. We don't really know how much my usage of the Composer model is using compared to the Anthropic models, but whatever. But I think it's safe to assume the Composer model built by Cursor is going to be a good amount cheaper than using like Sonnet 4.5 or Codex in here. Building a SaaS for people who are bad at prompt for everything coding, research, design, general info, and whatnot. That's a good idea, Anurag. I think that's a great idea. I'm really focused on this realm as well, building products for people using AI that A, don't know how to use AI, or B, lack the resources to get people to use their app, right? I'm very blessed where I have a large audience. I have 330,000 followers on X. I have, I don't know, whatever, 45,000 subscribers on YouTube, whatever I'm at now. I can launch stuff and people will see it. There's a lot of people who don't have those resources. A lot of people don't have the resources to learn about AI, get people to their app, things like that. I'm all about building apps for that. That's why I'm building this app store. I think that's a good, smart plan, Anurag, to build products for people who don't know how to prompt. I think that's very smart. I think it's always pro plus. Wow. Does Cursor 2.0 have sub agents like Claude Code? So not exactly. Right. Basically what you're doing here, let me see if I can make this bigger so you can see what's going on here. Let's see, zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so basically they don't have the concept of sub agents, Vibe, Cree AI. What they have is this agent panel, which is basically your employee list. Here's all your employees. And you spin up new employees. You have them do things for you. So these agents aren't spinning up more agents to do things. You're just spinning up agents to do that one task. The way I like to think about it is this, right? In Claude Code, you do have sub agents. You have sub agents. You have skills, right? You have hooks. And so you can give Claude Code much bigger tasks, and then they spin up sub agents to get the smaller parts done, and you can walk away for like 3 to 4 hours. With Cursor, the way I like to think about it, because you have this kind of agent panel here where you're spinning up multiple agents, is you do agents for smaller tasks, and you can just spin up a lot of them at once and walk away, right? Because they're not going to have sub agents. So that's the way I like to think about it. Check their model page in the docs. It might have something. We'll check it in a second. I don't know if live streaming looking through docs is going to be the most interesting. I'm all about that entertainment, boss. That's the thing you're going to get with these live streams. I'm not just going to sit here and stare at you like this. we want to keep it entertaining. We want to keep it fast moving. If my voice isn't shot by the end of every live stream, then it wasn't a good live stream. I want to keep every moment filled with action, baby. Every moment of live stream needs to be filled with action. Yeah, almost 46K. We started creating on YouTube about a year ago. About a year ago, we had 0 subs. A year later, we're at 46,000 subs, thanks to you guys. And we're only going faster. We're going to get 50K. I want to get 50K by mid-November. I want to hit 60K by end of year. If we can hit 60K end of year, that'd be amazing. Can Cursor 2.0 create sub-agents and access the browser? Sub-agents. Can we build an orchestrator with specialized agents like Claude Code? Can agents actually see and interact with the browser? So agents can run tests and check work. Yes, they can do that. So they're not interacting with the browser like the one you see on your screen. They're not clicking around and things like that, but they are doing tests on their end, the agent. So yes. I don't know if they're spinning up sub-agents of their own. I just think the agent's doing its own work, but it can do its own tests. It's like our thoughts met at a quantum intersection. God, I don't know what that means, but it sounds good, Mr. Zeno. No idea what that means, but it sounds good. What I want is an app that can estimate for me how much I'm going to spend on tokens or credits before I even start my app, depending on the tool I plan to use. What I want is an app that can how I'm going to spend on tokens or credits. It's a pretty good idea. Here's a question, Godson Chickaloo. Why don't you build it? Here's my challenge to you, Godson Chickaloo. Here's my challenge to you. While you're watching this stream right now, pop open Claude Code, Cursor 2.0. If you don't have to download Cursor 2.0 yet, sign up for the free trial. You get a week for free. Build it out right now. I challenge you, Godson Chickaloo. If you don't do it, you're a chicken. Oh, I checked, and the Docs Miles page has the pricing for the Composer model. What is the pricing? Tell me right now. Sub-agents are critical because you can manage the context window of the main agent in an extremely efficient way as it is. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't think they have sub-agents in here. But I mean, you manage the context in each agent. So you can, here, I don't think the point of Claude Code is to spin up a ton of different agents at the same time. It's to spin up one agent, and the one agent determines what agents it needs to use. Here, I think you're supposed to break tasks down into small little tasks and spin up an agent for each, which I guess maybe that's not the ideal workflow for a lot of people. It might be the ideal workflow for some people. It's up to you. I do like the concept of spinning up a ton of agents at the same time. So I don't know. That sounds similar to what I've been building. Yo, Alex, I was wondering, would you recommend Claude Pro or Chat GPT Pro? The $200 version can't afford both, says Bill. Here's what I'd recommend right now, Bill. Here's what I'd recommend right now. I would recommend, and I mean, I don't know what your use cases are, what you're doing. I'm going to run under the assumption that you're a vibe coder like me, that you like coding all day and building all day and vibing all day. If you're like me, here's the setup I would use, Bill. I would pay the $200 a month for the Claude Pro, so you get maximum Claude code usage. And then if you can afford it, I would pay the $20 a month for Chat GPT, right? The plus, whatever the $20 plan's called. Because I think GPT-5 is the world's greatest model for thinking, chatting, brainstorming, getting answers. I think GPT-5 is the world's greatest model for that. But I do think Sonnet 4.5 is the world's greatest coding model. So if you're like me and you're a vibe coder, I would spend the $200 on the Claude Pro, so you get maximum Claude code usage. And then I'd spend $20 a month on the GPT-5 Plus plan, because I think GPT-5 is the greatest AI model ever made when it comes to like chatting and getting answers and thinking and parsing your thoughts. And like I use GPT-5 to come up with like next steps for what I should build in my app. And then I use Claude Code to build it out. I do a lot of tests between Claude, Sonnet, and GPT-5. And like, I'll say, hey, plan this YouTube video out for me. Tell me what use cases I should go over. What's the best like, for instance, I'm making a video on Claude skills that I'm going to post probably tomorrow or Friday. And I had both GPT-5 and Claude go through, like, make me the best skills. And GPT came up with the best skills of Claude skills I should go through. So GPT-5 is the best like thinking model. Claude's the best coding model. Yeah, Claude code with sub agents is crucial. Sucks we can't do that in Cursor. As the main agent will manage those sub agents, that has its own context. Up 0.5K since I subbed. 0.5K. All right. Well, thanks for subbing and getting me those extra 0.5K, my man. Can Claude Code interact with the browser? Claude Code cannot interact with the browser, but it still does its own testing. It still tests things as it goes. It still like interacts with the terminal and like runs and like does build tests and all that. Could you do a sub-agent video for Claude? I might have already done that, Dave. I might have already done that. Look back. I might already have a sub-agent video. Can use Claude Code. Can I use Claude Code? Hell yeah, I can use Claude Code Arabia Times. For the operating life OS, do you recommend Claude Code the most? Yeah, for anything coding, I recommend Claude Code. It's $125/10. How's that compare to Anthropic? How's that compare to Sonnet? And is that cheaper? Is it cheaper than the other models? Let me know, Harshal. Man, we're getting a lot of questions today. A lot of questions. Hey, chat is super active today. Did you know that Anthropic is offering? If you're here, so this is the live stream. What we do in the live streams is we build things, we vibe, I answer questions, we hang out, we chat it out. If you're here for the quick and fast Cursor review, if you're here to know, should I go a Claude Code over Cursor, Cursor over Claude Code? That video is dropping shortly after this live stream ends. If you're watching the replay, then it means it's probably already out. Check out my channel. But what we're going to be doing over the next hour or so is we're just going to be building this app out with Cursor 2.0, see how it acts, see how it builds out back ends, see how it builds out front ends. Just vibe. You can ask questions in the chat. We're going to have fun. You can check me out on my I got a green light over here on the side. I got a blue light back there. I don't know. It looks futuristic. Kind of cool, right? Alex, we have a lot of viable tools. Claude Code, Cursor, Codex. Which do you recommend right now? It's a good question. I'll say this. Let me just say this, William N. Cursor 2.0, I am very, 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 very impressed with. I'm very impressed with Cursor 2.0. Am I switching from Claude Code to Cursor 2.0? You will have to watch my Cursor 2.0 review, which is going to drop shortly after this live stream. I'll give you all my thoughts as we go through here. I will give you all my thoughts as we go. I'm very impressed with Cursor 2.0, and we're going to continue building with it. Yeah, if you're focused on coding, Bill, if you're focused on coding, pay the $200 for Claude so you can get Claude Code, which might hint at what if I'm switching from Claude Code or not. You can do plan mode and Cursor, so you could have the AI break things down for agents. Let's test that. Let's do it. Let's do plan mode. They've been working on plan mode a lot. I want to build a backend out for this app. So, okay, I want to start building out the back end for this app. I want to use Supabase for the database. We need to store everything in there, including the makers, apps, comments, questions, links, everything. Please plan for this and build the data model and everything. All right, let's go into plan mode. So they've been hyping this a lot, plan mode. Cursor has. They've been hyping plan mode a lot. The talk of the town is this new plan mode's excellent. So we're going to plan out one of the most complex things you can plan out, which is the database for this app. We have a good amount of the app built out. It's not hooked up to a database yet. Let's see how plan mode does with the database. So for those just joining, we're building out this app you see over here on the right, which is this vibe code app store. People can submit their solo built vibe coded apps. You can vote it up and down. You can get information on the apps, submit questions. We haven't built the back end out yet. We're going to use Cursor 2.0's plan mode. They have a plan mode, an agent mode, and an ask mode. We're going to use Composer 1, which is their brand new model. We're going to hit send. Let's see how this plan mode looks, huh? Let's see how this plan mode looks. How does Cursor manage the merger of multiple agents changes after all of them finished their multiple tasks? It's a very good question. Let's find out. Let's build more things and see how it handles the streaming. How do you feel about Copilot Pro? $10 for unlimited GPT-5 mini is unmatched value, in my opinion. How do I feel about Copilot Pro? I mean, you're paying $10 for unlimited GPT-5 mini. For me, I can't imagine a world where all I use is GPT-5 mini. Did it finish the plan already, by the way? A few decisions need to be made before drafting the Supabase scheme. Oh, it's asking me a few questions. All right, before we answer those questions from the plan mode, this is cool. I like that it's asking me questions before it plans it out. That's very nice. But to answer this question, it's a good question, Harshal. I can't imagine a world where all you do is use GPT-5 mini. That seems kind of crazy to me. The reason I find that crazy is GPT-5 thinking is so unbelievably good. I thought GPT-03 was the best AI model I've ever used in my entire life. And then it was replaced by GPT-5 thinking, which I think is equally, if not better than 03. I highly doubt, Harshal, that every question you ask on a monthly basis is like some quick one-off question. If that's all you're asking to an AI, you're not using AI properly. Like, if you are using AI properly, you're using it to like think about deep, complex questions. You're using it to plan out deep, complex apps. You're using it to solve challenges you've never solved before. And to do those really deep tasks and challenges, you need a good thinking model, right? And GPT-5 thinking does that. GPT-5 mini doesn't do that. And so, listen, everyone's in different financial situations, Harshal. But if you can afford the extra $10 a month to pay $20 for GPT Plus, that'll give you access to GPT-5 thinking, which I think is the best AI model on the planet right now. GPT-5 minis, I mean, I'm sure it's good, but I just can't imagine. I just don't think you're getting the full value of AI if you're just using GPT-5 mini for everything. Yeah, it's a good deal, $10, but I I wouldn't. No, I don't think I wouldn't pay $10 a month for Copilot Pro. I'd pay $20 a month for GPT-5 Plus so you can get the thinking model. I can't wait for Gemini 3.0 Pro and compare it with Claude and GPT-5. I just bet $700 on Kalshi that Gemini 3 is coming out this year. $700 to win 760. Let's see how that bet's doing. Should we see how that bet's doing? There is no way Google doesn't release Gemini 3 this year. There's no scenario. There's no scenario. It has to come out. It has to come out. Let's see what we got here. Let's see my portfolio real quick. So I bet $700 on it. I get 767 if it hits. Will Google release Gemini 3 this year? I a couple months ago bet $600 that the new Vision Pro would come out this year, and it did. So that hit. It was 600 to win 700. So now I was at $700, and I put all that down that Gemini 3.0 will release this year, and that's 700 to win 767. That's got to hit. That's got to hit. Are you kidding me? Google could 2.5 Pro came out like 8 months ago. That's like 49 years in AI terms. They have to release Gemini 3 by, not financial advice, but they have to release Gemini 3 by the end of the year. They have to. It's Google. They have to. So we'll see if this hits. I think it'll hit. I think it'll hit. Not financial advice, but I think it'll hit. If anyone here from Polymarket's watching, by the way, get me into Polymarket US. What's going on here? Why do I have to use Kalshi? Get me into Polymarket US. If anyone here is from Polymarket, what is going on here? Get me into Polymarket US. What are we doing here? Get me in. Get me in. 100K file. We're not getting 100K subs next week, although that'd be nice. I think Sonnet is $315 in GPT. So, okay, so it's the same price as GPT-5. Composer's the same price as GPT-5. You would think they'd undercut GPT. All right. Sir, what is your advice for beginners in vibe coding? My advice would be to watch every video I've ever put out on YouTube and to like and subscribe. That'd be my advice. If you watch every video I put out on YouTube, you'll be a vibe coding genius. I enjoy your live sessions because of the interaction. Reading out people's questions in the chat gets me glued to the screen until the end, says Godson Chicklo. Good. Some people get disappointed that mostly what I do here is yap and build. If you want the tight, constrained build review guides, those are my other videos. But for live streams, these are live streams. We do 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific. We vibe, we talk, we answer questions, we build. We're building right now. We're going to check out this plan mode in a second. Yeah, with Claude and Codex, they're pricing. I'm not sure what Cursor really offers anymore. Well, 2 things, Joe Bob. What does Cursor offer? I'll tell you what Cursor offers. I think they offer the best UI in the game. I think this is the best UI in the game. I think Codex and Claude Code's very much focused on performance of the model, which is the core to everything, right? I'm not saying it's the wrong move. I'm saying that's what they do. So they focus on the performance of the model, the hardness of the model. And Cursor is very much focused on the user experience of the vibe code. And so that's why you get things like this nice new agent manager, the built-in browser, things like that. This new plan mode, this new kind of visual plan mode. So it's 2 separate priorities, right? Claude Code, Codex focused on kind of the harness, this focused on the UI. What's the better long-term sustainable strategy? In my opinion, it is the model itself, but it seems like Cursor is pivoting a little bit and they're building their own model, Composer 1, which, for the record, spoiler alert, I actually like. Plan mode is under the agent button. Well, we found it. We found it. On my version of the AI prompt library, I've added API layers so you can check prompts out like a real library, support for prompt collections and versioning. Love that, David. So you took my challenge on the prompt library. I love that, David. Good work. GPT-5 Mini is a low IQ model. Yeah, like, listen, I don't think $10 a month's worth it for unlimited GPT-5. Just pay the 20. Pay the 20. Here's the issue. Here's the issue. People, let me take a sip of water before I go into this. When people think about the pricing when it comes to AI, they think about it all wrong. They think about it all wrong, right? They say, oh, Claude is $200 a month. That's expensive. That's so expensive. But what they're doing is they're comparing the price of the model or the service to, oh, my camera just turned off and on. Internal temp high. Why is the internal temp high? My camera saying internal temp high. Camera doesn't even feel warm. What is going on here? All right, we're going to turn that off and on. I'm sure you can still hear me. We're going to keep working here. Here we go. Restarting my camera. Here we go. Can you see me now? No. Okay. Here we go. I think we're back. People compare the price of internal. I got to buy a new camera. I bought the Sony ZV-E10, $800. You know, crap out on me. I'm going to buy the $2,000 camera. Anyway, when people compare the pricing of AI models, they go, oh, Claude, $200. That's so expensive. Yeah, but you're comparing that price with the price of like other software, right? You're comparing it to the price of a Twitter subscription. You're comparing it to the price of Adobe, whatever the hell Adobe sells, right? You're comparing it to the price of, DaVinci Resolve subscription. You're comparing it to the price of YouTube Premium, right? Compared to those, yes, Claude's very expensive, $200 compared to $50. You're comparing it to the price of Netflix for $20 a month or whatever they've raised the price to. That's bad comparisons to make. You shouldn't be making those comparisons. What you should be comparing the price of Claude to or these other models is the price of human beings, developers, hiring employees. Because Claude Code's replacing the price of hiring a developer to build you an app. What's the cost of a developer to build your app? Developers typically cost, what, $150,000 a year? So that's $18,000 a month. So that's where you need to make the comparison. $200 a month for Claude Code compared to $18,000 a month for a developer. $60 a month for Cursor 2.0 compared to $17,000 a month for a developer. $20 for GPT-5 plus compared to $1,000 a month for a consultant. Those are the real comparisons you should be making, right? And if you compare it in that light, then it's a spectacular deal. And here's also what it comes down to. I truly believe we're entering in a world where it's going to be the haves versus the have-nots. And it feels weird to hear, but like what it comes down to is we're entering a world where AI gives you so much productivity, so much extra capacity to get things done, that the gap in economic value created between the have-nots, the ones who don't use AI, and the haves, the people who are using AI, is only going to keep widening and widening and widening. The better these tools get, the more sub-agents Claude Code can spin up, and the more agents you can spin up in Cursor 2.0, the wider that gap will get. And the wider that gap gets, the more it's critical you're on the have side, not the have-not side, right? So listen, I know everyone's in different financial positions. I know $20 a month to some people is nothing. $20 a month to other people is everything. But if you truly care about being on the haves, being economically viable in the new economy, being economically valuable in the new job marketplace, you have to make that investment, right? And I bet you if you look at your credit card bill, you're going to find a whole bunch of charges for things you don't need. Netflix, HBO Max, TikTok Plus, Disney Plus, Apple Plus, shits and gigs plus, whatever you pay for, right? Eliminate a couple pluses because a few of those pluses aren't giving you economic viability in this world, right? Maybe you get rid of HBO Plus. Do you really need to watch The Sopranos for the 20th time? Probably not. Do you really need to watch Game of Thrones for the 20th time? Probably not. Maybe get rid of Netflix. Do you really need to watch Love is Blind for the 20th time? Yes, but maybe you take a week off of watching Love is Blind. And you download and you get Claude Code. And you get Cursor 2.0. And you may be a little bit more relevant in this world. It's harsh. It's harsh to say. It's harsh to say. It's harsh to say, but you're the hottest thing on YouTube, I guess. Yeah, damn straight. Damn straight. I came from accounting background, zero programming knowledge. What should be the learning roadmap for someone like me to build scalable apps with most use AI? Says Arian. Your game plan is, what is Sam Dorland? Can I ban this guy? How do I ban this guy? Delete user. Ban user and end their comments. Banned. Like, why are you spamming the same thing over and over again? You just got banned, Sam Dorland. What are you doing? Why are you spamming Don Claude Code Cursor 2.0? Why'd you send that 20 times? Banned. Ban hammer. The value of a high IQ model is exponentially more. A low IQ model will just ruin your code base. Yeah, just pay the extra money. I guarantee you're wasting your money on something. I guarantee you're wasting your money on something. If you're sports gambling, stop sports gambling. If you're buying drugs, stop buying drugs. If you're buying beer, I got a friend, I can't afford $200 for Claude Code. They go out to the bar every weekend and spend $300 on beer. You can drink when you're dead. You can't Claude Code when you're dead. You can't Cursor 2.0 when you're dead. That beer, the $200 a beer you're drinking every weekend, what's the ROI of that? Zero, zilch, negative ROI. What's the ROI Claude Code? Infinite, if you build a good app. What are your thoughts on the new chat UI? Looks like I can't see what context of rules being used. What are your thoughts on the new chat UI? Looks like I can't see the context of rules. I assume you mean of Cursor 2.0. Well, let's do this. Let's go back in here and review the plans, and then we'll see how it implements this, and we'll answer this question, Pat Kaz. Reviewing the code base to understand data structure types, then drafting out a schema. A few decisions needed before drafting the user authentication. Use Supabase auth with user accounts or keep anonymous names now. Let's use Supabase auth. Vote tracking. Track per user votes to prevent duplicates and allow change removal or keep vote counts only. Track per user votes, prevent duplicates. Badge storage. Store badge unlocks records in database or keep them computed. If stored, where should unlock dates come from? I don't know. You decide. 4, image storage. Store images in Supabase storage or keep external URLs. Keep in storage, I guess. Yeah. All right. So let's do this. Let's send that. All right. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how the planet builds out. Then we'll start writing code here. Did my camera crapped up on me again? God damn, dude. How is my camera overheating? What is that? How can a camera overheat from being turned on? There's nothing more expensive than being a content creator. I got to buy a $2,000 camera after this with a $20,000 lens. And Jesus, I bought this new lighting rig. Everything costs money, man. Everything costs money. All right, let's see what we got here. Supabase backend implementation plan. So it's building out the plan. All right, I can click view plan. All right, let's view the plan. All right, so the plan's over here in the right in this markdown file. Backend implementation design. All right, so it has the data model, the tables, comments, questions, app votes, comment votes, storage setup, implementation steps, database migration, Authentication. Oh, this is a good plan. This is a very in-depth, thorough plan. All right. Build. Let's see how fast this new model is. Get Cursor to fix your camera software. The issue isn't the camera software. The issue is the camera. You spend $1,000 on a camera. That thing can't even stay on while you live stream. Is that it? Is it done? There's no way it's done. Oh, I just got to allow all this. When building an AI app and integrate the OpenAI key, how do you deal with the cost when thousands of people use your app OpenAI key? Well, I deal with it by charging money for my app. Right? You should be charging money for if you have AI functionality, you need to be charging money to cover those fees, right? I have an API inside Creator Buddy, which is my startup. I charge $50 a month for it. People use on average about $5 of AI API a month. So that's margin. So you have to have a good margin, Sang. You have to have a good margin. My Sony AS used to always do that when it would get too hot. Such a nightmare. Which camera should I buy? Is there a better camera I should buy? Am I behind on comments here? I'm a little behind on comments. In Cursor, we can use model Claude Sonnet, but in the terminal, we can integrate the Claude Code API. What's the difference? I don't know. I don't understand the question. Hey, Alex, got it wrong. You got it wrong. With $20 a month in Claude Code, it has limited number of credits. Same with Cursor. Why can't they just give you Why can't they give you $20 a month unlimited? Because then all the companies would be broke. AI is spectacularly expensive. Spectacularly expensive. If you want the AI to be able to use or have access to your app, it'll need that. Learn that too. For my $20 is fine, unlimited. Yeah, it depends how much you use, right? All right, we're still coding here. This is fast. Composer 1 is fast, man. It is fast. We've been going for like 2 minutes here. It's already done 2,500 lines of code. By the way, right after this live stream ends in like an hour or so, I'm dropping the full Cursor 2.0 review. Full thoughts and review. So make sure you're subscribed and notifications are on. Critical you turn on notifications for that. We live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific. So write down your calendars, mark that down, and leave a like. Huh? Leave a like. Leave a like. We get more people in here. Have some fun, right? I swear to God, it feels like we're thinking to each other, no cap, says Mr. Zeno. All right, I guess we're thinking to each other. Will API Vs on my virtual room staging app cost more than what I'm making? I can't figure it out. What API? I don't know what your API you're using or what it's doing, so it's hard for me to tell. All right, we done here? Looks like we're done. Implemented the Supabase backend for the Vibe Store app completed. Supabase setup, installed Supabase, created client utilities, added the database, created a migration file. Can I open this up? Nope. Next step, set up the project, create the environment variables, run the migration. Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to set up the backend. I'm going to set up Supabase. For those who don't know, new org, we'll call this Vibe App Store. Create the organization. I use Supabase for the database for everything. So if you need a database, I like Supabase. It's easy to use. All the AIs know it well. Let me generate a password here. I don't want you seeing the password. Create password. There we go. Share screen. Supabase.com. Very easy to use database. Nice free tier. Vibe App Store. And you can set up projects very easy. AIs are good with it, so they can instruct you through building it. So we have the database here. Let's run the migration. So I am going to find the migration and put in the SQL code. Supabase, initial schema. So a lot of time when you're building here with the AI, it'll give you SQL code to run. You just go to SQL editor inside of Supabase. You paste in the SQL and you hit run. Let's see how good this is. Ooh, first shot, no errors. Back in the day, Cursor and Claude Code, when it would write long, complex SQL for you, it always had errors. So the fact that I was able to do that in one shot, boom, there it is. There's all the tables where all your data will be stored. That worked well. Well done, Cursor Composer One. Well done. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting much out of Cursor Composer One. I wasn't expecting much out of the new model. I am impressed with it. I am impressed with the new model. I was a little disappointed to hear the pricing. That's the same as Codex. I was hoping it would be much cheaper because it's made by Cursor, but it is unbelievably fast and it is rather good. Does it dethrone Sonnet 4.5? Have to watch my Cursor review video after this. All right, here we go. I'm going to set up my environment variable file. So hold on here. I'm not going to share my screen and show you my environment variable file. I'm not that stupid. So I'm just going to set that up here real quick so that you can't see it. And then we'll switch back and we'll keep building out this project, huh? How you guys doing? Supabase URL, anon key. You guys having a good Wednesday, good hump day? I'm reading this new book on focus. I need to get more focused. I want to lock in. I don't want any distractions. I'm reading this new book on using meditation to increase your focus. I'll let you know what I think. I think right now the biggest asset you can have is focus. Everyone's distracted right now. Everyone's distracted right now. If you can find focus in a world full of distractions, you can get so much more done. You can dominate your competition. Dominate them. So I'm reading about focus. You got to sharpen your focus. It's a muscle. It's a muscle. Okay. Back end is set up. Let's go back into Cursor 2.0. Oh. Oh, thank God. Something about showing environment variables, dude. I'm just like the king of like showing it live on stream. It's like, what is... Anyway. I wonder why you never talk about Chinese models like DeepSeek, Qwen, and the others. I wonder why, if they are pretty good themselves. ZAI, GLM 4.6, pretty good. It says Godson Chickaloo. Few things, Godson, because how do I put this the right way? I want American models to win. I think the world is a better place if the American models win, to be honest. I don't think they're better than Claude and Cursor either. So I want to show the top ones. I don't think DeepSeek beats like Claude Sonnet 4.5. They're cool, and I like that they're open source. No American company can say that they're open source. None of them can say they're like open source first AI models. Only China can do that, which is really awesome, and props to them. But I want to show off the American ChatGPT Cursor models. You eventually download your app, and so will your users. The AI will provide your code with a placeholder and the actual information. Reading a book on focus and not being able to find the time. Am I on LinkedIn, says Heavy T? Yeah, but like, I'm not like creating content on LinkedIn. You're not missing out on anything by not following my LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't like create content on LinkedIn. LOL, why would you want an AI made by the Chinese military inside your computer, says the Neon Tangerine. Certainly a concern. All right. So we built out the back end. For those just joining, we're using Cursor 2.0 to build out an app. We're building out a vibe-coded app store. Please, Alex, spare us the bogus American idealism lies, says Situ D'Souza. I mean, disagree. You don't have to call each other liars here. We don't have to use ad hominem. We can just say, hey, I disagree for this reason. I agree for this reason. I made my point. How would you gain your first 10 paid customers for the app, says Sang? Here we go. Everyone here want a marketing playbook? In situ D'Souza, to act like people who live in a country rooting for their own country is like idealism lies. It's kind of crazy. I'm sure all the people in Europe want their European companies to win. I'm sure all the people in China want their Chinese companies to win. I'm sure all the people in America want their American companies to win. I'm a Boston Celtics fan. If I go Boston Celtics are the best team in the NBA, people don't go, oh, what's your Boston idealism? No, I'm rooting for my team. You can root for your team. I root for my team. Nothing about lying or idealism. It's like you root for your team. I root for my team. There's nothing wrong with that. We can still respect each other. I have friends that are New York Yankees fans, even though I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. You can still be friends and hang out and chat. Because you root for your team, I root for my team. I'm a Boston Celtics fan. I lived in New York City for 9 years. I'm still friends with Knicks fans. Here's how I'd get my first 10 apps. Here's what I would do. Or 10 users for my paid app. I'd create a Twitter account. I'd create a YouTube account. I would tweet. I'd create YouTube videos. I'd create content that's helpful to people. My team is America, says Situ D'Souza. All right, well, good to have you on the team. I mean, if you want to live here and root for another team, that's totally fine. Doesn't matter. Do your thing. I live here and I root for my team. I'd create helpful content. And then I would do the old jab, hook strategy, right? Helpful content, helpful content, helpful content. Check out my app, right? Helpful content, helpful content, helpful content. Check out my app. So you do a lot of helpful content. And then again, hey, by the way, I built this app. And that's how you get your first 10 paid users. That's how I got hundreds of paid users on a Creator Buddy, which is my AI app. Create a whole bunch of helpful content on X. Then I said, hey, I released an X AI tool. And people are like, oh, that's cool. And they bought it. Hey, I'm new and you have great videos. I am building my app in VS Code connected to GitHub and Supabase. Can I get the code from GitHub and continue to work on Incursor 2.0? Hell yeah, NMG. Hell yeah, you can. Right? You just go into any of the AIs and you type in here. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Let's just get rid of all this. You type in, pull down the code from GitHub, and then you paste in the link for your GitHub. Oh, you can't see it. See the chat down here? Pull down the code from GitHub. Then you paste in the link to the GitHub of your repo, and then you hit enter, and it pulls down the code for you. Right, this code I'm working on here, I originally built in Gemini Studio, which then I pulled into Claude Code, and now I'm building Incursor 2.0. That's the best part about all this, is you can work with it, whatever app's the best at the moment. Very easy to go between all those because of GitHub. As long as your code's on GitHub, you're good. All right, should we test this out? Let's see. All right, so we created the Supabase project. We put in the URL and anon key. We ran the migration, set up the storage buckets, create app images bucket, public read, create avatar image bucket. I've never created buckets in here before. I assume it's in storage. New bucket, yes. Okay. I'm going to create new buckets in GitHub real quick. We're going to call it app images. I'm just on Supabase in the other window, just building out a bucket real quick. Standard bucket, public bucket, allow anyone to read objects without authorization. Yeah, why not? Create, new bucket, avatar images, public, create. All right, build those. Seed initial data, create a migration script to import data from constants. All right, Can you create the SQL command to do the seed data, please? So I'm asking the AI agent inside Cursor 2.0 to seed the data. So to create a SQL query, for those who use Supabase, there's a SQL section. You can put in SQL queries. I'm asking it to create the SQL query that will have the test data that I can use. About time to press the button. He did it. It's up. Who did what? What's up? What are you talking about? Great. I'm building via Claude Chat now, and it's a lot of copy paste. Yeah, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you use Claude Code or Cursor? What are you talking about? What are you doing? All right, seed data. Boom. It's editing the seed data. All right, so we're going to be able to show this in a second. Create users in the Supabase dashboard. Go to authentication users. Create 5 users. Okay, so I got to create a bunch of test users. Users, add user, create new user. Let me just create these 5 test users real quick. Password 123. Those are good passwords. Password 123. Auto confirm, create. Add some more users, create new user. And then what we'll be able to do once I do this is test out the app and see if it works. See if they were able to one-shot this backend. See how good Cursor 2.0 is. Can it one-shot a very complex, the password you just used we found in the data breach. Google password manager going to change your password. Yeah, shut up. Creating, yeah, password 123 was found in a data breach. We can see if Cursor 2.0, both the app and the model, was good enough to one-shot an entire backend for a complex app. Oh, my camera turned off again. What are we doing here? I got to buy a new camera. Thank God I recorded the YouTube video before this. Thank God I recorded the YouTube video before this. Create this user. I'm back. I'm working. I'm looking good. And then invite new user. Create new user. If anyone plays fantasy football, I just traded Brock Bowers for Tyrone Tracy and DJ Moore in my league. What do you think about that trade? Good trade, bad trade? I'm so weak at running back. Anyway, here we go. All right, let's test this out. Should we test it? Let's test it out. Make sure my environment variable is saved. All right, let's do this. Let's share the screen. Remove. Share screen. We're testing it, baby. Let's test. You guys ready to test? You want to get testy with me here? Let's test. Boom. All right, refresh. Not working. Let's see. We got errors. What are the errors? Any errors here? Error fetching current user, auth session, missing error, auth session missing. Could not one-shot the back end. Could not one-shot the back end. I followed the instructions. Let's go back to Cursor 2.0. Let me show you how to solve issues with Cursor 2.0, huh? Let me teach you a little something. What's easier to code with, Cursor 2.0 or Replit, in your opinion? It depends. If you're just prototyping something, Replit. If you want to build out a full complex app, Cursor 2.0. You know, there's different coding tools for every. I split coding tools into kind of 2 different buckets. Kind of prototyping, V1, V0 type tools, and full scale building out app type tools. You know, for your prototyping tools, you got Replit, you got V0, you got Lovable, you got Bolt.new. On the other end, you got like the full scale building out complex apps. You got Claude Code, Codex, Cursor. So it depends what you're trying to do. If you wanted to spin something up real quick, quick prototype, quick, simple app, personal app that you use to shorten a workflow, you can go with Replit. You can go V0. On the other hand, like if you're building something complex, like we're building here, like a full app store, then you probably want Cursor, Claude Code, Codex. You know what I'm saying? If I have a $100 Claude sub and usually am fine on it usage-wise, think I'd be all right on limits with a $60 Cursor sub. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot more usage for the $60 Cursor sub than you will the $100 Claude Code sub. Now, will the quality be the same? That's up to you. I'll give you more info on that on the new Cursor video I'm going to drop shortly after the stream ends. But we'll see. Oh my God, I have college classes to go to soon, but are we going to be able to upload or will you save that? Upload what? Like your apps to the App Store? For Friday. I don't know what you're asking. 3 Neon Tangerine. All right, let's go back to Cursor. Please explain. I appreciate you, though. Thanks for watching while you're at college. I appreciate that. I would have loved to have started live streaming. Oh, we'll keep working on this Friday. You're not gonna be able to upload your apps just yet. Soon the Neon Tangerine, though. Okay. Doesn't appear to be working. I added everything to .env. When I refresh the app, there's nothing that comes up from the database. And I get that. Enter. Let's see what it has to say. LOL, thanks. No, thank you. Thank you for coming, the Neon Tangerine. And thank you everyone else for watching too. It's good. These are fun. I lose my voice. I can't talk for another 10 hours after each live stream. But these are fun to do. These are fun to hang out. If you're in here, if you're one of the 82 people in here and you don't go into the chat and hang out and chat with each other and say what up and introduce yourselves, you're missing out on half the fun here. Everyone in this live stream should be going into the chat, introduce yourself. Hey, here's who I am. This is what I'm working on. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's see what we got here. Verify the .env.local Vibe App Store. Vibe App Store. Let's see. Our .env is there. That should be the correct place to have it. Users, Vibe App Store, same directory as package.json. Package.json. It should contain. It contains those things. Let me double check here. I don't want to show you guys my environment variables. I like you guys, but not enough to show you my environment variables. Next, Supabase URL and anon key. All right. Let's show you back right here again. I like you guys, but not that much, Restart the server. Did we run this? I think we ran the seed data, right? I think I ran the seed data. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't run the seed data. Update builders, update builders. Invalid input syntax data. So I'm just working on making sure the seed data works here. Update builder, set ID builder 1. Just checking in on ID builder 1. Let's restart the next server and see what we got going on here. Let's test this. So I'm testing out the app, testing out the backend, trying to get this to work. We're going to get this working though. We got this. NPM run dev. Let's see if it can one-shot a backend here. Verify database setup. Check tables exist by running. Check setup. All right. I'm going to test to see. All right. So I think there was an issue with the seed data. Let's see. I don't know if Cursor 2.0 was able to. It looks like there are builders in the database, but not apps. I ran the seed data SQL and it gives me this error now. It looks like it was able to put users into the database, but not apps. So let's see if we can fix this. Let's see. What are you building? Says Match Day Maestro. Match Day Maestro, we are building an app store for vibe coded apps. So people can submit their vibe code marketplace apps and people can discover new solo built vibe coded apps. So you guys watching this can submit your apps and get more discoverability on your apps and get your first users. Wouldn't that be cool to get your first users in your vibe coded app? You'll probably need to run the code in the console. No. All right, what errors did it give us here? Let's see. I've been impressed with Cursor 2.0 so far. It seems like it's running into its first issues. Made fixes, summary and troubleshooting steps, auth session error, data loading. .env is in the right spot. Restart the server, verify database setup. All right, I think we got new seed data that we're going to be using here. Yep. All right. I'm going to run the new script for new seed data. Success, no rows returned. Perfect. Let's see if it added apps. Yes, it added apps. Okay. Now let's refresh. Oh, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go now. It did it. It made the back end. So all the data you see here in this app store is straight from the database. There is no data in the front end anymore. So for those just joining, we have 85 people in here. We're sitting pretty. We got a good amount of people in here. We're having fun. It's a party. We are building a vibe store, an app store for vibe coded apps where you can discover and find new vibe coded apps. You guys can submit your vibe coded apps, get new customers, get like visibility, get discoverability, right? And so here's the app store. You can see the apps here. This is all coming from a database that Cursor, I'm not going to say one shot because we had some errors, but it two-shot it. It two-shot it. A pretty complex backend, it two-shot. And then you can click on the database or the app. You can see information, comments, who made it, the maker. You can upvote and downvote the maker, the GitHub link. You can see their website, web app, Daisyver, web app. Hey guys, I'm Preston building a GPT codex, ran some scripts today, trying to update and broke my entire app. Hours lost, but hey, comes with the territory, I guess. Well, P. Davis Gaming, make sure you are constantly submitting your code to GitHub because then you can roll back pretty easily. If you use Git, everyone here should be doing this. If you're vibe coding, make sure you're using GitHub, right, as your repository. And then as you go, constantly, you complete new features, you complete new tasks, push the code to GitHub, and you're good to go, right? Then you can roll it back if need be. So one-shot that back, well, two-shot that back end. That's pretty good, huh? How are you liking version 2.0? It says Nostalgia Games. I like it. I'm impressed. Would I switch from Claude Code to this? You'll have to watch my review, which will come out probably about an hour after this live stream ends. But I like it. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. The model they built is pretty good. The model they built, I am impressed with. I did not expect much out of the model they were building. Wow, I just discovered the Save to GitHub button on AI Studio. Yes, that is big. The Google AI Studio, they have the Save to GitHub, which is an excellent way to start building your app in Google AI Studio and then move it over to like a Claude Code or a Cursor or a Codex. All right, this is looking good. Let's spin up some more agents here in Cursor 2.0, huh? And this is Cursor AI, right? Yep, this is Cursor 2.0. This is the new Cursor 2.0. Let me show you. This is the new Cursor 2.0. Here we go. Make sure everyone's hitting like down below, by the way. Hit that like button. Let's keep growing the party in here. All right. Submit questions, help wanted tag, maker can change log posts, makers publish updates. Let's see, did I put that in there? All right. I have a list of things I want to add. Okay. So let's spin up a new agent here. We'll do keep all. Is this the context? 74% context used. All right. Interesting. So that filled up rather quick. That's interesting. So we have already filled up 74% of the context of this agent. And all we did was build the back end. I mean, we did build the back end late in the process, meaning like we have a ton of stuff already in the app. And like, so that is a pretty large context it needs to include to discover everything and build the entire back end around it. But it is interesting after basically saying, hey, build the back end, 74% of the context is used. Add context. What does that do? Files, docs, terminals, branch, browser. Interesting. You can add a browser as context. I wonder if that just takes a screenshot of what's ever in your browser and uses that as context. That's interesting. Let's connect to the browser. Why not? Let's do a browser tab. Zoom out a little bit here. Let's close this. All right, this is a cool view. This is cool. I like this. So you guys can see the app in real time on the right and then the agent on the left. I like that view. This is a good live stream view we got here. I'm working on another project myself. Put mine on I have planned already. I'm really excited. I work on 20 different projects at the same time. I built an app on Google AI Studio, and it's using Gemini Google Studio. That doesn't make it easier to make the app in Claude Sign, which I would like to use Cursor help build this app. Yeah, just upload. There's a save to GitHub button in Google AI Studio. You hit that button, puts your code in a repository on GitHub, and then you can pull it down inside Cursor. Do you use or evolve the same agents per project? I mean, Claude Code, I use the same agent for a task. So if I'm like building out the back end, once I'm done building out the back end, I'll move to a new agent with new context. Which database do you use for your project? Says Juan Eronimo Mayano. I use Supabase. Supabase, very easy to use, great, free tier. Supabase is great. Great to start out with, especially if you're just tinkering. Let's do this. This is great. This is great. I can do both views here. So inside the apps itself, there should be a change log section. So that might not be coming from the database yet. I thought I added, can you see this on the screen that I'm sharing? Yeah, you can. It's at the bottom. Let me hide the comment. You can see it. I thought I added a change log section to each app, but when I click the apps, I don't see any change logs in the listing. Can we make sure that exists and is also in the database too? So when in the app listing inside the app store we're building, I want there to be a section for a change log. I'm not seeing it. So I'm going to ask the agent to go ahead and build that for us. We're going to use Composer 1, which is Cursor's new in-house model. And if this works in a really cool way, we'll be able to see it pop up live as it's building. That'd be cool, huh? That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty neat. Would it not? Firebase is a mess. That's why I'm moving away from Google. Yeah, I hear mixed things about Firebase. Supabase is just nice to use. I like Supabase. I'd recommend everyone use Supabase. It's nice to use. Everybody hit the like button for the algo. That's what I'm talking about, Mrs. Livin. Everyone hit the like button for the algo. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hype us up. Hype us up. Chatting feeds the algo. It does. If chatting feeds the algo, everyone starts. If chatting feeds the algo, I want all 91 people in here. Introduce yourselves in the chat right now. If you're here in the live stream, go in the chat. Say, hey, I'm this person. This is what I'm working on. If you're watching the replay, go into the chat, go into the replies right now and reply with what you're working on. And if people find it interesting, they'll follow you and make sure they use your app when you launch it. It's a win-win for everybody. Everyone go do that. All right, let's see what we got here. Did it build it out? Changes made, updated, added, fix the seed script to properly insert changelog entries. So to get the changelogs working, run the seed script again. Okay. Let's run the seed script again. I'm just in Supabase on my other screen here, running the seed data again. Success. And then refresh the app. And now it should display. All right. Where's our little browser? Browser. Refresh. Giving us an error. Build error. Couldn't one-shot it. We're getting this build error. I'm impressed with Cursor 2.0. The speed is amazing. It's able to build some pretty cool things. You'll see my full review coming out soon. But it is running into errors a decent amount. It fixes it quickly. To its credit, it fixes it quickly. But it reminds me of the old days. You guys remember the old... Anyone here vibe code in like December 2024? Was anyone here on Cursor in like December 2024? There was no Claude Code or Codex back then. Who here was using Cursor in December 2024? Let me know in the chat or in the replies if you used Cursor back in like December 2024. Back in those days, man, this was when I was building Creator Buddy too. I was working like 18 hours a day building this out. I mean, it would just be error after error after error after error, spinning in circles and circles and circles and circles. And I'd be punching my desk. I'd be like, God, cursing like crazy. There was, that era, that might be the most stressed out I've been in my entire life. December 2024, Cursor 1.0, right before Claude Code came out. Sonnet 3.5 days, which Sonnet 3.5 was revolutionary, don't get me wrong, but you would just get into these error circles over and over and over again, and it wouldn't be able to find its way out, and there's no way to get out of it, and you just had to sit there and say, still not working, 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 still not working. And you'd sit there for like 5 hours saying, still not working, until it eventually figured it out. Oh, God, I'm so glad those days are over. I'm so glad we'll never be that bad again. I'm so glad. Definitely been using Cursor and Windsurf. Windsurf did that to me so much too. Oh, my God. And then I tweeted like, oh, my God, Windsurf's the absolute worst one time. And the Windsurf people DM me like, what's going on? I'm like, I've been on the same issue for like 48 hours straight, and it just cannot figure it out. And then I'd switch back to Cursor, and Cursor would be able to figure it out. And then 2 weeks later, it felt like that was nerfed, and it was just getting errors. I'd switch back to Windsurf, and that would be great. And then a few weeks later, that would feel like it's nerfed. I don't know. All right, let's test this out. Refresh. Error is gone. Let's see if we get change logs in here. Not seeing the change logs. Let me check this. Verify change log. I do like this. Verify. Okay. So they put change logs in only 2 of these, Gemini Writer and Code Companion. So let's go back to the browser. Let's see if they got change logs in here. Comments demo about this app. They have 2 Gemini Writers first. Oh, there it is. Change log. Boom. Beautiful. Beautiful. That looks nice. That is really nice looking. I like that. That is beautiful. I like it. Hey, I'm Courtney. I have an Android app called Yard Hopper, and I'm continually working on and currently working on moving it to iOS as well. That's what I'm talking about, Courtney. That's what I'm talking about. I built my entire front end with Cursor at a time when I didn't even know React. That's what I'm talking about, Muhammad. That's what I'm talking about. Even in June, it happened to me. That's when I decided I probably will not use Cursor for coding again, but only for IDE. So paying $20 a month for nothing. Well, you don't. If you're not going to use the Cursor AI function, I just cancel the $20. You can just use Visual Studio Code. Cursor is just a fork of Visual Studio Code. You can use Visual Studio Code for free. If you're just using it for IDE capabilities, you don't need to pay the $20 a month to Sousa. You can just use Visual Studio. I used Cursor back in spring, early summer, but now I use Warp. I heard a few people use Warp. I don't know. Claude Code works for me. Composer One worth it, says Gabrielle Ferrao. I will say this. I am impressed with Composer One. I am impressed with Composer One. Composer One is extremely fast, and it appears to be good. It's extremely fast, and it appears to be good. I have ran into a few errors, but it was able to, unlike old Cursor, which caused me to jump ship to Claude Code months ago, it was able to figure out the errors and fix them, which back in the day, Cursor was not doing that, and that's why I switched to Claude Code. Ferron, Gabrielle Ferron. Can I roll the R's? Is this a roll the R scenario, Gabrielle? Gabrielle Ferron. Can I do that? Is that appropriate for me to do? Are we in a roll the R type scenario here, Gabrielle Ferron? Though Cursor is good, but there's another ID which is equally as good. Trey? I've never heard of Trey. Composer One use less tokens compared to others. The same. It appears like it uses less tokens than Claude, Sonnet, but uses equal amount of tokens as GPT. And the only reason I say that is it's priced the same. Actually, that doesn't really answer the question. I don't know. I've been counting the tokens. I don't know. But it does appear to be pretty good. Should we build out more features? All right, what are we context here? 87% context use. So the agents use up context pretty quickly. So we're going to want to make a new agent. Let's do a new agent here. Let's figure out a new, you know what we might, do we just refresh the UI? I'm not in love with this UI. Right? I'm not in love with the UI of this app store. Let's go into full screen mode here so you can see the UI. I'm not in love with the UI of this app store. So let's do this. New strategy. I think Ray Fernando taught me this one. Well, he introduced me to this, and then here we go. So Ray Fernando, you guys should definitely subscribe to him if you do not yet. He introduced me to V0, V0's design systems. It's like, oh, V0 has this great design system. Like, you know what? I'm going to use V0 for design systems. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to actually build any apps with them. I'm just going to copy them. Let's find, and then we're going to screenshot it and then give it to Cursor and say, just make the UI look like this. Which design should we take? Do we like this one? I don't know how I feel about the yellow. The yellow's kind of like pukey. Bubblegum? Ew, no. Doom 64? Base? Kind of plain. I want like a pop of color. Soft pop? I kind of like this, but I don't like the teal. I think I like the neo brutalism, but I don't like these colors. Vintage paper? Nah, boring. Modern minimal? I wanted to have a little bit of, I want it to be fun, but not like crazy. I wish there was a button I can press and gives me other color options. Make it neon, tangerine, cyan, purple, and white. Isn't that kind of what's going on here? Maybe some blue. What if instead of yellow, we did like orange? But then I don't know if the orange and red goes together. So what if instead of red, we do make it neon, tangerine, purple? Blue? Blue and orange kind of goes, no? Do we want an entire app looking like this, though? What do you think about this? Pumpkin spice scheme? Is this pumpkin spice to you? Modelier? What do we think about this color scheme? Orange? I don't know. Why don't we just roll with it? Why don't we just roll with it? Why not? See what happens. All right. It was before you got the blue. Do we like this scheme? What do we think about this scheme? What accent color should we use? Those are two different blues. Whatever. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's do it. Let's just give this. So we're going to give this to Cursor. Let's give this to Cursor and let's see if we can make this look better. All right, I'm going to give a screenshot. I want to change up the theme a bit. Can we make it look like this? Enter. So I gave the screenshot. So I think this is a pretty cool way to use V0. Go in the design mode, just play with the colors, designs a little bit, screenshot it, give it back to Cursor, say, hey, build this out for me. I feel like that's pretty cool. I got to find more design tools. What the hell is this? We're having trouble connecting to the model provider. Try again. What the hell? Say bless you. Let's try that again. I want to change up the theme bit. Can we make it look like this? Send. Come on, Composer One. Come on, Composer One. So we're going to change up the theme of our app, which you can see on the right because of the brand new built-in web browser that's now in Cursor 2.0, which is 6. So you can look at your app. All right, Composer One is down. We're going to tag in Sonnet 4.5. Boom. Let's see if Sonnet 4.5 can figure it out. Yep, Sonnet 4.5 is working. Composer One is down. Composer One is down. Composer 1 is down. You guys all took down Composer 1, but Sonnet 4.5 is working. Breaking news. You heard it here first. Composer 1 is down. Sonnet 4.5 is working, though. Sonnet 4.5 is on the case. Here we go. Ooh, it's changing it. You can see it live. This is cool, right? You can see it live over here. I like it. I kind of like the vibes. Ooh, it has that nice orange glow when you hover over it. I kind of like it. There's some things that obviously need to be changed because you hover over and it's black on black. But isn't this better than what it was before? Let me go into full screen mode for you. This is kind of clean, right? You see like the faint orange glow around my cameras. Wow. How's it overheating? How's that possible? How can a camera overheat from being on? Isn't what this camera's supposed to do? Is be on? How can it overheat from being on? Weird. I think this looks nice. What do you guys think? Do you like this better than the old style? I mean, I think the logo is terrible. We got to change the logo. I think we can tinker with the colors a little bit. I don't know if I love the orange and the blue, but I think the overall aesthetic is kind of cool. I'm telling you, our thoughts are connecting and it's interfering with electronics. It might be true, the neon orange. Pretty good work there. That was one. I mean, I wasn't using Composer 1, but I was using Cursor 2.0. Cursor 2.0, one shot the new styling. What do you use for app design? Cursor is not the best for UX. Yeah, I mean, no AI is good for UX or UI. No AI is going to be good at one-shotting it. But what I just went over, here's a little trick for everyone. Here's a little trick. If you go to V0 and you click on this right here, Design Systems. Design Systems. You go to v0.app, click on Design Systems. It has all these designs. I just chose one of them. I think I chose this one. You choose a design you like. So go through them all. Choose a design you like. And then you screenshot it. This is free. Free. I don't know if V0 likes that I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Then you screenshot it, put it in a Cursor 2.0 or Claude Code or whatever you're using, and say, make my app look like this. Hit enter. And the UI will look like it. It just did it for us. We just screenshotted this. We changed some of the colors. And now it looks like this. Looks cool. I think it looks pretty cool. Don't you guys think? I think it looks pretty sweet. I think Cursor did a really good job with that. All right. So we have this so far. We've been building on our App Store with Cursor 2.0. We have the app listings. We have links to the GitHub. We have links to the website, social links. We can vote up and down. You can click on the app. Ooh, didn't look at this yet. Let's go back. Let's do one of the ones that have change log. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. That's the demo video. That's nice. What do you guys think about the UI? Do you like this new UI? Do you like the kind of scheme, the color, the way it feels? What are your thoughts? Yes or no? You don't have to say yes. You don't have to agree with me. Just agree with me. You can say no, that's ugly. But you go in, you can upvote different makers. We're looking good. Let's see what other features can we add here. Full analytics section for makers. Oh, okay. Let's add some log in and log out buttons. So let's go back to Cursor 2.0. Window. Cursor 2.0. Let's spin up how much that didn't use up much context. All right. Oh, and because Sonnet 4.5 is 1 million context. Too bright? It's too bright. All right, let's make it. What would a dark mode look like for this? Can we add a toggle and have it so it has a dark mode that keeps the same look and feel but is darker? You want to pick a variant. The current one's still a vestige of starting on an AI. Oh, I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, this is not going to be called Gemini App Hunt. This will not be called Gemini App Hunt. I'll tell you that much, model I can promise you that. I got some names picked out. Let's just say I got some names picked out. I don't want all you running around buying all the domains that I just thought of. So I'll keep that in the vest. Whatever the saying is, keep it close to the vest, under the chest, close, whatever it is. Let's see what it. Let's see. I asked it to come up with a dark mode. Let's see what it comes up with. I'm working on a great app for virtual room staging and decorating. I love that, Llama Mama. You need to add a dark mode toggle. Yeah, that's what we had to do. That's what we asked it. It's working on it now. I do like the new browser plugin here where you can see the browser live inside Cursor side by side. That's sweet. That's sweet. That's a cool new feature in Cursor 2.0. For those just joining, new features of Cursor 2.0, brand new layout, right? Now it's like an agent manager. You don't see code, you don't see files. You just see your agent manager on the left-hand side. You have a browser plugin. You can see your browser live inside Cursor so you can test as it goes along. Brand new AI model, Cursor Composer 1. For some reason, they called it Composer, even though there's other features called Composer inside Cursor. First tests, looking very good, looking very nice. It is very, very, very fast. Accuracy perspective, looks to be solid. Looks like it's writing solid code. We've had a few errors, but it's looking uptime, downtime. It's down right now. I guess maybe some day one struggles. It's down right now, the new AI model. I think those are all the new features. Pretty good so far. Enjoying Cursor 2.0. Am I going to switch from Claude Code to Cursor 2.0? You have to subscribe and turn on notifications for that. I'm going to release a new video in like an hour that will have the final review of Cursor 2.0. It will tell you if I'm switching from Claude Code. I got to say, the creative side of AI brought out the little kid in me. I hope we all became millionaires from this. Well, yeah, I hope we all become millionaires from this too. But that is the best part about AI is like you can get creative now. You can just say things into existence and they appear. It does bring out the creative side, which is awesome. That is the coolest part about AI is anyone can be creative. Anyone can build anything they want. That is the coolest part about AI. That's my favorite part. VS Code with Claude CLI and IDE right next to each other is fun to plan the IDE and make CLI do the work. Yep, I use the Claude plugin inside VS Code. That's what I typically use. That's my typical workflow is the plugin. Still working on this dark mode. Oh, well, I guess we're doing Sonnet 4.5, which is a bit slower. We are using Sonnet 4.5, which is a bit slower. We got spoiled by Composer 1, which is extremely, extremely fast. It is the fastest coding model I've ever seen, Composer 1. Their speed is very, very impressive, whatever Cursor did. They must have like a really advanced research team, I guess, over at Cursor. The fact that they're able to build their own model, it's like unbelievably fast. That's impressive. Shout out Cursor for that. Sonnet is, I mean, you kind of get spoiled by Composer 1 speed. And then you switch to Sonnet, and it's like, okay, hurry up here. We're just adding a dark mode. I mean, my workflow is different with Claude than it is with Cursor. With Cursor, that Composer one was so fast that like you could just stay engaged the entire time. Claude, I mean, it's a little slow, so you go and you get distracted, or you do other things, or you do planning. I guess now that I'm like trying to treat it like it's Cursor, I'm trying to stay engaged. It's like, damn, this is pretty slow. All right, here we go. Updating components. All right, let's see here. Dark mode, light mode. Okay, so it messed some things up because it put dark mode components inside light mode. Some issues here. The cards for the apps are dark mode in both light mode and dark mode. Sonnet messed up. Sonnet messed up. We're using the new multi-agent feature inside of Cursor 2.0, which is one of their brand new features. Spin up a bunch of agents at once. Ooh, awaiting review. I like this. This is cool. This is new. Okay, so you have now your agents kind of get split up into buckets. So you have agents where you're awaiting review. You have ones that are currently working. You have recent ones. You have older ones. I like that. It organizes your agents for you. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's nice. I mean, I do think that's like kind of the future of how these AI agents will work, is a lot more features and functionality around the UI perspective, the managing perspective, the project management, the agent management, where the experience is less talking to an AI, less talking with a CLI, and more visually organizing agents as you do work, right? Almost like an RTS video game where you're managing, like in Civilization, you're managing everything. Like I see it being very much that way. Is there not an agent type mode in Claude Code Web? So yes, in Claude Code Web, you kind of have your agent manager, but that's about it. And it's all in the cloud on different GitHub branches. Here, it's doing everything locally. And it's also tied into all the other Cursor features. So you have your browser built in there, all your other IDE features. I mean, I'm not making judgments. I'm not going to compare the two just yet. I'm not going to tell you which one to use. You'll have to wait for the review video coming very shortly for that. But it is nice that it's like all local, all these agents you can manage. Alex, this is my first live stream I've ever attended. You should feel honored. It says Michael J. Perlman. Michael J. Perlman. First of all, it takes a guy with that kind of professional headshot who includes the middle initial and his full Michael J. Perlman name to come in here, come into my live stream and say, hey, it's an honor that I'm here. And you know what, Michael J. Perlman? I respect the hell out of that. I respect the hell out of you coming in here with your professional ass headshot, your full ass name, Michael J. Perlman, your full ass middle initial, and just saying, hey, by the way, I'm here, and it's an honor that I'm here. I respect that. And I hope that this isn't your last live stream you attend either. I hope you stop by all the other live streams we do. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, not Eastern, Pacific. I lived on the East Coast for 34 years. I'm now on my 35th year, but now I'm on the West Coast. It's like I get used to saying Pacific Standard Time. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Michael J. Perlman. Not related to Michael J. Fox. You just took the first name and the middle initial from Michael J. Fox, but you added on your own last name, Perlman. I wish I was on the live stream where everyone tormented you with names of tools you've never heard of. Oh, what? You watch the replay of last week's live stream? That was so annoying. There was like 2 people in here, and neither of them showed up again. That was their last live stream. They just came here. Hey, did you try this tool? Did you try this tool? Just shut up. The crowd in this live stream has been a lot more cooperative. Ooh, that's nice. They fixed it. Shout out Sonic. They fixed it. I like the crowd in this live stream a lot more cooperative. Jane's something else. Yeah, I don't know what they're. One of them subscribed to me. Like one of them like started paying me $5 a month. Hey, thanks. But stop talking in my chats. I'm building an app which takes boring fantasy football where you pick a team and wait to predict live matches with real-time predictions, AI support, and live track. I like that. I'll be the first one to test. I'm into fantasy football. Match Day Maestro. I just traded Brock Bowers for Tyrone Tracy and DJ Moore. What do you think of that trade? Is that a good trade? I needed a running back desperately. So I traded Brock Bowers for Tyrone Tracy and DJ Moore. You think that was a good trade? Did I win it? All right, they fixed the dark and light mode. That's nice. Here's what we're going to do. We're 2 hours in. Everyone make sure, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. Here's the most important step of them all. Turn on notifications. In the next hour, I am dropping what's going to be the biggest Cursor 2.0 video in the history of this YouTube website. It is going to be my full thoughts, walkthrough of every feature, and if you should switch from Claude Code to Cursor 2.0. My final answer will be in there. Dropping in the next hour or so. Here's your mission. 86 people are in here right now. Here's your mission. When I drop that in an hour, you open it the moment it drops, you leave a like on it, and you let it go all the way to the end. Let it go all the way to the end. That's how the best way you can support. Don't even join the channel. I don't need your $5. Just watch my next video beginning to end. So we get more people in the Fin fam, huh? I'd love your opinion on which to start vibe coding with, Claude Code on Visual Studio or Cursor 2. If you're just getting started, honestly, I do both. Neither are more. I mean, I'll tell you which one's better in the video that drops in an hour, Michael J. Perlman. But like if you're just getting started, experiment. Maybe you like the workflow on one better than the other. Try both. Get the $20 version of Claude Code. It looks like you can afford the $20 version of Claude Code. You're here in your suit with your goofy ass smile with the professional headshot. If you can afford that headshot, you can afford the $20 version of Claude Code. Get the $20 version, test it out. Get the $20 version of Cursor 2.0. You can afford it. You got a great smile. People with that smile can afford $20 Cursor and $20 Claude Code. You get both of them. Michael J. Perlman. You test it out and see which one's for you. I am impressed with Cursor 2.0, though. I am impressed with Cursor 2.0. Trying everything is great advice because if it works for one person, doesn't mean it works. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's got their own tools. Some work better for others. I've been in love with Claude Code for the last 6-7 months. It's been my workflow. I'm good friends with Ray Fernando. I think he's been in Cursor the whole time, I think. I think he's a Cursor guy. Yeah, Google AI Studio. If you're tight on money, try Google AI Studio. How do you guys go about deploying apps? Vercel. Put your code on GitHub and then sign up for Vercel, and then you can link Vercel to your GitHub and host your apps. Sorry, sir. What's your time there? 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But hey, if concepts, you don't even have to worry about remembering the times if you turn on notifications. Then you'll just be notified when I go live. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. GPT Codex has been unbeatable for me when I've compared them all. Listen, some people think Codex is the best, and they like live and die by that. And that's totally fine. Totally fine. For my workflow and for what I've been doing, I've tested them all. I found Claude Code better. Even though I love OpenAI, I'm a big OpenAI guy. But people have their own things. Love the full name drop. I am trying to create a version of Whisper Pro, but better. I have a cool idea, wink. So I need to create an iOS dictation keyboard. That's a cool idea. Keep us in the loop. Stop by the next live stream. Let us know how it's going. For me, the Google AI Studio is best. The Google AI Studio is good. I like the Google AI. They're doing good things over there, Google. You're going to hate me, but it's soccer based. For my underlying structure and algorithms easily switch between sports, I'm going to hit all sports. I've been building. Yeah, I don't watch soccer. So good luck with that, champ. I'm an American football type guy. American football. All right, guys. It's been 2 hours. My voice is shot. It's been fun. Thank you for watching the live stream. Monday, Wednesday, Friday live stream. I'm trying to drop a new video every day, so watch all the new videos. If you want to help your brother out, when I drop new videos, just like and watch it. Just let it run to the end. Obviously, watch it and learn something, but it's the best way to keep the videos pumping out. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Hope you had some fun. Hope we had a couple laughs together. Hope we learned something. Like, if you come on these and you laugh and you learn, then I accomplished my job. That's all I want. You come on here and you laugh and you learn a little bit. You laugh, you learn, you laugh, you learn, you laugh. That's what I'm trying to do. Toss the camera in the freezer. Thank God I filmed my YouTube video before this. I watched them multiple times. Thank you. I don't know what your name is because it doesn't show up on my screen, but thank you. Thank you for watching it multiple times. And reply too. Yeah, I'll reply back to you. Thanks, Alex. Noti's on. All right. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Cursor 2.0 review dropping. Full video dropping in like the next hour or so. Watch out for that. Watch that. Love that. Praise that. Kiss that. You're the man, Michael J. Perlman. Welcome to the Fin Fam. If you're watching this, you're in the Fin Fam. So welcome to the Fin Fam. Michael J. Perlman, Fin Fam member of the day, Michael J. Perlman. You got your badge, Michael J. Perlman. Fin Fam member of the day. Thanks for watching. This was a banger. Call your friends and family and say you love them. All right. And keep on. I'm trying to think of something inspirational. We'll say, keep on keeping on. Have fun. Keep building stuff. Keep using all the new tools. Cursor 2.0 review drop in a second. Love you all. Talk Friday. It's Wednesday, right? Talk Friday.